Hi everyone, and thank you for joining again. In this video I will show you how you can make this cute granny square here. And we start with 6 chains. Of course, first we make our slip knot. And now, as I said, chain 6. Afterwards, we make a slip stitch in the very first chain in order to get this little ring here. Afterwards, we chain 3 to start the next round. And now we will make puff stitches in this ring here. And puff stitches will always contain of 4 yarn over. So in the whole granny square pattern, puff stitches will always have 4 yarn overs. Then yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook. Close. And now chain 3. And we make the next puff stitch. And this is also something that we will do in the whole granny square pattern, which is chain 3 between puff stitches. Again, close, and next puff stitch, which means between puff stitches we always make 3 chains and then go on. And as you can see here, we will need 8 puff stitches in total. So I have my 8 puff stitches here, and we end the row with a slip stitch in the top of the first puff stitch. Now we start here, and in this row we will always vary between puff stitches and double crochet. But first of all, chain 3 to start the next row. So as I said, we start in the puff stitch area, which means that we make 2 puff stitches here in the chain 3 area, like this. And as usual, 3 chains between the puff stitches and the next puff stitch in this chain 3 area. Close. Between the puff stitch and the double crochet will always be 2 chain stitches. 1 and 2. And now we will make 4 double crochet around this next chain 3 area, or in this next chain 3 area. And number 4. And again we are between double crochet and puff stitch. which means we make 2 chains. So always between the double crochet area and the puff stitch area, please make 2 chain stitches. And the next puff stitch, pull through, close, and as usual between the puff stitches we make 3 chain stitches. And as usual between the puff stitch and the double crochet we make 2 chain stitches. And this is how you go on for the whole row. Now at the end of the row, here again chain 2, because we are between a double crochet and a puff stitch, and end the row with a slip stitch in top of the puff stitch. Then we make another slip stitch to bring our thread to this chain 3 area, and then we chain 3 to start the next row. And again we are in this puff stitch area here, which means we make 2 puff stitches with 3 chain stitches in between them. And again chain 2. And now the final pattern for the whole granny square will be that we always make 2 double crochet in this chain 2 area here. Then make a double crochet in the top of each double crochet of the last row. So in the last row we made 4, which means that we make 4 double crochet on top of them. And then again add 2 double crochet in the chain 2 area. And we are again between the double crochet and the puff stitch, which means we chain 2 and then we make our puff stitch pattern. And in this way your granny square will keep growing from row to row, because you always add 2 further double crochet in this chain 2 area. And then you keep the puff stitch pattern always the same. And again, between puff stitch and double crochet, we chain 2. And as I said, the pattern will always be 2 double crochet in the chain 2 area, then 1 double crochet in each double crochet of the previous row, then 2 double crochet in the next chain 2 area, then between double crochet and puff stitch, chain 2, and then do the puff stitch pattern again. So as you can see here, this is the row where we are now. And in the next row, you again add 2 double crochet in the chain 2 area, and so on. And the puff stitch area will always have the same pattern. As soon as your granny square is big enough, you make a slip stitch in the puff stitch. I already cut the thread here. Then you pull through and your granny square is finished.